Love it. All right, Steve, take over to your running back prop, man. What do you got?
Yeah, going into another under here. We're going Isaiah Pacheco under 41 and a half rushing and receiving yards. And I got to be honest, man, I flipped completely. You and I last week, Munaf, was talking about Pacheco's over and how we liked him coming back. They had extra time to prepare. He's obviously healthier now than he was. They're not going to rely on Kareem Hunt. And then sure enough, they come out last week and they rely on Kareem Hunt. So we were wrong. And I don't understand what would have changed Andy Reid's mindset from watching that game last week to change his mind for this upcoming one. It's less time to prepare than it was for the 2 weeks prior. And frankly, Pacheco didn't light the world on fire. It looked like Kareem Hunt was a better back. And you see that in the statistics. You see that in the carries. So I think that right from the jump, Pacheco is that. And, I was looking at the under rushing yards, which is in the low 30s. I actually might have even creeped down a little bit more since I started looking at it this week. Where I actually saw was that the rushing and receiving yards gave us that extra bolted to 41 and a half. So we're getting 12 additional yards here. And specifically with the receptions, in his first 2 games pre-injury, he had receptions for 79 receiving yards. Since his return in 6 games, he's had 5 receptions for only 25 yards. His receiving total is set at 6.5. So I think 6.5 is worth a look, but I think we're going to get some extra additional yards. If I like the under on rushing and I really like the under on receiving yards, why wouldn't we go with the 41 and a half, which is why I'm pivoting into that. And in his last 3 games, he's only been targeted 3 times, has only 1 reception. So I really like Pacheco under here across the board, but I think the best play for us is 41 and a half rushing and receiving yards.
Yeah, you mentioned it. I feel like it's just really Kareem Hunt that is starting to get the bulk of the work here. And I don't want to say that maybe Pacheco, again, it's all just speculation, but maybe that injury is still bothering him, or maybe they just trust Kareem Hunt more in these situations here just because he's been there all throughout the season, of course, with the Chiefs in the past as well there. So, and again, even if Pacheco, I think, steps up in this spot, I think that you'll see a lot more, I should say, split snap counts between him and Kareem Hunt. So yeah, this one makes a lot of sense for me. All right, so those are our running back props here, 2 player props each. Let's get into our third player prop here. Sleepy, lead us off.
All right, I'm going to go with Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown over 60 and a half receiving yards. This guy is the number 1 wide receiver against man coverage, and I don't think that Washington is afraid to play man coverage. They have very good pass defense, but when Saquon Barkley chews you up, not once, but twice during the regular season, the Commanders have to pick their poison. Are they going to sit back and try to play coverage, or are they going to let Saquon just run all over him? They got to figure something out, and I think that they learned their lesson after 2 times of this guy running all over him, that they're going to go ahead, they're going to stack the box. They have to do that. And Jalen Hurts hasn't been great. They're going to go ahead, they're going to force Hurts to go ahead and beat this Commanders defense. And A.J. Brown's just too big. He's just too strong. And when the Eagles need a big play or they need to go ahead and convert, a third down, that's their guy. They will go to him in this game. And I know that, in the last game he went under, there was a snowstorm. The week before that, he was reading a book on the sideline. This is now A.J. Brown's time. He's going to go well over this number. I think he has a big game here for the Eagles. So I'm playing A.J. Brown over 60 and a half receiving yards.